Hi everyone, welcome to Teach and Write. My name is Amy Flowers and I am so excited you're joining me on this journey to writing an informative paper, a research paper. How do you write a research paper? Where do you start? Where do you find the information? And how do you know if it's a reliable source? And then once you get your information, how do you put it into a paper so that it makes sense and it shows off all the knowledge that you learned? No worries, I've got you. Let's get started on this 7-part series in learning how to write a research paper. For today's lesson, I need you to grab this one sheet. You'll notice it has the letter A in the top left corner. You can find this PDF and all my printables in the links and comments beneath this video. So take a moment, pause this if you need to, go grab that copy, and return when you're ready. We have 2 learning points today. We want to be able to define what is an informative paper. And then secondly, we want to be able to identify a topic and 4 subtopics. I'll explain what those are along the way. So, what is informative writing? That's our first task for today. We need to be able to define informative writing. Well, informative writing has this base or root word, inform. And that's really what informative writing is. Informative writing is just going to inform your readers about a subject. You're the expert on the subject, and now you're going to explain to your reader everything that you know about it, giving just the facts. Informative writing can come in a couple of different forms. It can be a compare and contrast, in which you're looking at an apple and an orange and sharing their similarities and then how they're very different from each other. Informative writing can also be in instructions, like on a recipe card, when you are following the directions of how to complete the task so that you end up with an incredible entree or a dessert. You also have instructions when you pull out a board game and you want to understand how you play that board game. You need just the facts. You need something to inform you of how to play the game. Biography is also an example of informative writing. Typically, it takes someone from maybe birth all the way through their childhood and school years, maybe all the way through until they were an adult, sharing what they accomplished, telling only the facts. That 4th one is the one we're going to concentrate on for the duration of this course, and that's research. A research paper gives the reader only the facts about a particular subject. You're going to have to do research, and it's going to be so much fun. But what should we research? There are so many things that I would love to learn more about. I just am a person who loves to learn. And I thought if we're going to do some research, let's select a topic that's super interesting. Here's some things that would interest me. Look at the list here. UNC basketball. I love watching sports, and I'm a huge Tar Heel fan. So I would love to learn more about the different players and the history of basketball. I'd also like to learn about pickleball. I'm obsessed. That's been my latest addiction. Love playing pickleball. Picked it up about 2 years ago and really find it fascinating. But why is it called pickleball? And who started this game? And why is it such a big trend right now? That got me thinking, because through pickleball, I've met a lot of friends and we all like to travel. Traveling would be a great topic to research, like digging into countries and learning more about their cultures and foods and destinations that I could see if I went to that country. That would be fun to research. And then I got to thinking about my dog. I love dogs. I think ever since I was a little kid, I memorized all the breeds and just really enjoy learning about the different characteristics of each breed. And then that got me thinking, I actually just love animals. I've had dogs, cats. I had a parakeet. I had some bunny rabbits. I've had ducks. I've had turtles. I've had fish. I feel like I've lived in a zoo, and that's all been fun. And I think all of those animals are fascinating. And then that got me thinking, since I love animals, and I know a lot about animals that you have as pets, what about those animals that are really rare, unusual, unique, The kind that when you go to a zoo, you're like, what? Never seen that before. What is that? And it kind of pulls you in. You want to learn more. And I thought, wouldn't that be fun to learn about an animal that you and I haven't heard about? Like some obscure, rare, unusual, unique animal that I don't know much about. And that way, as we research, we're learning a lot of information together. So I did some thinking. I decided that we should use the goblin shark as the subject for our research paper. So grab that sheet of paper that has the letter A in the top left corner, and where you see that blank beside topic for informative paper, write goblin shark, because that is indeed our topic. As you write goblin shark, let me define what a topic is. A topic is the big umbrella. So imagine a big umbrella that is telling us the big subject. But underneath that umbrella, we need to have something called subtopics, because sub means under. These are topics that come under the main topic. But before I get there, let's just freeze, because I want to know what you already know about the goblin shark. So in front of you, you have this T chart, and it says what I know about my topic and what I hope to learn. Let me get you started on filling this out. Let's start in the left-hand column, what I know about my topic. Okay, I chose goblin shark because I really had never heard of this animal before. But I do know some things about sharks that I think would fit into this column of what I know about my topic. Let me show you. I know that sharks live in water, so I wrote that down in the left-hand column. Sharks live in water. It's a fact. Pretty sure about that. So I jotted that down in my left-hand column, and I want you to do the same. As you do that, I want you to think about something you'd hope to learn. So I know that sharks live in water. I've been on the Outer Banks quite a bit here in North Carolina. I know that they live in water, but I do also know that not all sharks live in the ocean. Some can live in fresh water. They don't all live in salt water. So that got me wondering, where does this goblin shark live? I added my questions to the right-hand column. I wanted to know, is it salt water or is it fresh water? And where does it live? Where does this shark live? Like, where in the world does it live? If I get to go to the beach and put my toes in the water, am I going to encounter a goblin shark? I don't know. So I'd like to know where it lives. So that's a question I have. I'm sure you have started thinking already about things you know about sharks. Maybe you already have heard of the goblin shark and know some facts. And maybe you're already thinking, hey, there's some things I'd like to know about the goblin shark. Awesome. Then I want you to pause this video and I want you to fill in these two columns and take some time to really think about what you know. Pull from your background knowledge what you know, and then start wondering and thinking, what would you like to learn? What would you like to research? What information do you want to find? It's a critical step in the research paper process. Please pause the video and do that. Fill out those columns and rejoin when you're ready. Let's take a look at what I wrote down while you were working. Let's focus on the second column, what I hope to learn. So let's take a look right here. I've already gone over these, saltwater, freshwater, and where do they live. All of these have to do with one idea. I want to know where this animal lives. So let's call that habitat. I'm grouping all of those questions and just realizing there's a common theme. They're all talking about where does this creature live? I'm giving that the name habitat. Looking a little bit beneath those questions, I notice I have these questions. How long is a goblin shark? Let's take a look at the next set of questions I wrote down. How long is a goblin shark and is it white? I wanted to know if it was white because of the name goblin, meaning something like a ghost, and I think of ghost as being white. I really am curious about what this thing looks like and how long it is. These questions I can lump together and realize that I am seeking to know more about its appearance, its physical characteristics. Continuing down my questions on that right side. What does it eat? Does it attack? I wanted to know if it attacks its prey. Is it a mean predator out there trying to grab all this food? And what exactly does it eat? I was really curious about that. And because both of these have to do with getting food and eating, I am going to label those diet. So far I have habitat, physical characteristics, and diet. I have a couple of questions left. Why is it called a goblin shark? And is it scary? Those don't really fit into a particular group of questions. They're just curious questions about, hey, what are some unusual things about this shark? Why is it called a goblin shark? And is it scary? I mean, a goblin sounds frightening. So in this grouping, I will call that unusual facts. So now you can look back at this list of questions that I came up with, and I want to know more about the habitat, physical characteristics, diet, unusual and unique facts. By taking the time and pausing to go, what exactly do I want to learn? I could see some common themes popping up. These are going to be our subtopics. Go to the bottom of your page. What my subtopics will be. You'll notice I just grabbed those common themes of questions from up above and wrote them on the blanks here. I want you to do the same. Write down physical characteristics, habitat, diet, and unusual facts on those lines. Sub means under. Our big topic is goblin shark. We now have some subtopics. That's going to guide our research in our next lesson. We'll be looking for these subtopics, these smaller topics beneath the umbrella topic of goblin shark. Well done, my friends. We set out with these 2 learning points, and you did it. Well done. You should now be able to define an informative paper. You should also be able to identify a topic and our 4 subtopics, which are, let's say, physical characteristics, habitat, diet, and unusual and unique facts. Once again, what a fabulous job you did today. Join me in the next lesson, part 2, where we're going to take a deep dive and learn more about that goblin shark. Along the way, you're going to learn how to cite the source. You gotta tell where your information is coming from as you look through the websites and figure out more about the goblin shark. You have to cite the source, but how do you do it? I've got you. I'll show you the way. Then you're going to scan the text to gather all that information and stop and jot just the facts. That's a really important part of this process so you don't plagiarize. And I'll teach you what plagiarism is in the next lesson. So join me. I can't wait to learn more about this goblin shark. It's a fascinating creature. I'll see you then.